business is my love language, man. When I say we quit our jobs, though, it's not like we were making money.
Too, yeah,
like we were broke as fuck. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Go through your phone, pick like 20 contacts and be like, hey, Bobby, I haven't talked to you in a year. Hey, I just want to let you know, I just started my roofing company. If there's anything I could do for you, please let me know. But I just want to let you know if there's anybody you ever refer me to, I'm going to work my ass off. What genuinely makes me happy is holding a door for someone. Like my favorite book is The Go-Giver.
Is there any piece of advice that you would give?
You're going to go through shit. It'll be okay.
So obviously you and I know each other super well. I consider you one of my best friends. Yep. Audience probably doesn't know who the hell you are because you're not famous or anything. Maybe a little bit locally. Some people might actually know you, dude. But tell me, what do you do, man? What do you do, Billy?
Yeah. So, well, thanks for having me, dude. Awesome to be here. I know we've been talking about this for a long time. I know. This is a really, really cool studio.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool
I like this table, good chairs, good mics. But yeah, no. So what do I do now? Well, I'll start with what I do now, and then we'll just take like a couple minutes to kind of go through my background. So my name is Billy Baumann. I'm currently the COO, Chief Operating Officer at Stone Capital Partners, where I, lead our team, run our day-to-day. We are a mergers and acquisitions firm where we partner with companies that are typically founder, owner operated, that are between 5 million to 50 million in revenue. If you're in the private equity world or M&A world, that typically translates to 1 million to 5 to 6 million in EBITDA. Really heavily focused, myself really heavily focused on the trades. And so right now, a part of our business is, growing our team here locally in Michigan. So I'm over here on the east side. Our founder, Maya, she's over in Grand Rapids. So we really focus on the Midwest, but now we're going, focusing on the entire United States. So we're growing our team, which is great. And that's what I'm currently doing. Now it's fun. I love what I do in the PE and M&A world, and we can get into this later. But while we're on it, it's about, now that I'm in this, I'm in love with it. Yeah. I think this business is
B2B is your thing, dude.
Business is my love language, man. And I know that's not one of like the official love languages. Like my wife Ashley, her love language is words of affirmation, I believe. I hope I get that right. And mine is business, man. I mean, you and I talk on the course all the time. Cora is my golf league partner.
I think we talk every day.
Yeah, we talk every day, multiple times a day. And the thing I just love, and why this translates so well to my job, even if they're not within that revenue scope, or they're not looking at growing through acquisition, or they're not looking at selling, or they're not looking to just, they just want to talk business. I mean, I love that. I love going into the local donut shop in Rochester, at 6 a.m. when I was there a month or two ago for men's breakfast, picking up donuts. And it's like, I smell that smell, and I'm like talking to the business owner in the morning, and I'm asking her like, question, when do you start baking these donuts? I'm just curious.
I can totally see you doing this, dude.
And then she's like looking at me, and then she's like, a baker comes in at 11:30 at night. So I'm like, okay, so someone's here from 11:30. And then while she's packing up the 24 donuts, I then ask her, I'm like, I'm curious. Curious is my new favorite word. How many donuts do you make a day? And she's like looking at me like I'm batshit crazy. But that's just
a lot of people do.
Yeah, right. Definitely. A few do for sure. That's a fact. But that just gives like my general curiosity towards business. So translates really well into the work we do at Stone. Is I really, one of our unofficial core values, and one of mine is like, I actually give a shit. I love the trades. I love a comeback story. I like seeing people growing their company through struggle a little bit. And like when they need that help, I love seeing how they handle that struggle and overcome it. And it's just fun to talk business all day. But now that I'm in this, I've been in this world now unofficially and officially for about 6 months. And I'll tell you what, I think everything I've ever done has led me to this. And second, I never knew how you could get into this space without going to like a blue blood school. I mean, like Harvard, like these Ivy League schools, like you hear private. No, I failed out of college 3 times before I got my shit straight.
Real quick too, just side note, like that's why I like, we've become really good friends, but like, obviously I feel like I almost talk to you on like a consultative level with like our business and the things that we're doing and just helping me.
Yeah.
You're really good at like connecting different dots, right? Like you're very good at connecting different dots. But what's interesting talking to you, the reason I like talking to you about it is because you have an entrepreneurial background. So like you're in this space where you're consulting, but I feel like a gap in that space almost is there's all these consultants that went to Ivy League schools with zero experience in the fucking grind. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like they don't know what it's like to like have zero in your bank account, figuring out payroll, juggling a mortgage. You got a screaming girlfriend or a wife. You know what I'm saying? And you're just like, what do I fucking do?
Never.
And you got to pay yourself last, bro.
Dude,
and then you get that 10K and you're like, oh, we're back to zero. You know what I'm saying? And so having that experience going into this world, like, you know, that pain, dude.
Yeah.
It's like a different thing and you know how to get out of it, you know?
I think you nailed it. And I think there's something there of like an empathy level. Now, I'm not saying like a lot of these people
experience too.
I don't think
empathy. Like,
there's a lot. They're very there's a lot of really sharp people. Like, not saying that by any means, but I agree with everything you just said. And I think I'm going to probably tie into that in a minute. But, you know, now that I'm into this role, it's like, I'm wondering how do people get into this? And usually the one course is, hey, they go to a really good school. They do internships through, like, I'm seeing this now where I'm talking to some of these kids that are in college asking for internships, which is super cool. And I'm just like, wow, like, man, if I was 19 years old, reaching out to M&A advisory, private equity firms asking to do internships, like, dude, I was not doing that. Okay. Like this,
yeah,
so like, I am impressed. There is
it's awesome.
It's super cool to see some of these kids doing this, but you know, that's a path. And then the other path is, you know, you grow through acquisition and you get acquired by private equity and you join private equity firms and maybe you learn the game and you start it off. And like, there's a lot of really cool companies, and I don't want to call them like the anti-PE, but like people that went through private equity, learned the system, and were like, okay. And I'm not saying they're anything negative necessarily about private equity. There are pros and cons, but I think you're starting to see like that operator-led private equity come out.
I love it,
which is really cool. But yeah, so to tie that, so that's what I'm doing now, and it's really cool. So I spend most of my day, you know, talking to our team, working with our clients, talking to individuals across the country that are in the trades, really heavy right now in HVAC, industrial, plumbing, roofing. Really, blue collar millionaires, man. I speak that language very well. I speak very well to the individual who started their HVAC company or their plumbing company or just this general service business by themselves. They started up. Hey, they take their HVAC company from 1 tech to 5. Next thing you know, they got 3-4 trucks. You know, they got a big building. They got clients. Now they're doing 10 million in revenue. Now what? I mean, you know, I love those conversations because, hey, how are you growing? But I haven't always been that way. I mean, so.
Yeah. So I love the business is my love language thing. That should be your tagline, by the way. Like that should be your thing, dude. I love that. You say it a lot. It means a lot to the right person.
I do mean that.
No, it's sick.
I do mean that.
I know you mean it. That's why it should be like part of your own personal brand. Yeah. I love it. But when did you learn that? Because you're not like born with like, I mean, I always like, you know, like to hustle and stuff like that. Like I've always liked the idea of like selling things or making money, right? But like, when did you learn that like business was your love language? Like, how did you learn that?
That's a good question. I wish you would have sent me that before.
Well, let's back.
That's a fair.
Maybe we talk through the journey a little bit.
Yeah, well,
you've had other companies
to hit on that. Yeah, we can, but like, we'll take it wherever it goes. I don't know when I like really defined it that way. I could really remember, and I'll just get into it. I mean, I can remember being a kid, and like a lot of people are good at art. And when I say kid, maybe, and I don't have like some of these memories, maybe might be from like 7 to 12 to 15 to 9, 18, like all blended in. So give me a little grace, audience
kid,
here.
Whatever.
I think you can understand. I think a lot of people, when they think of like art, they think of drawing. They think of writing music, playing guitar. Like, yeah, I mean, like my parents put me in like little music stuff here and there, but I wasn't good. I wasn't good at piano. Like I was not good, dude. It was awful. Your
creativity's business.
Yeah. So like, but I would always like, as I grew up, like I would always think of like businesses. Like really? It's funny. I had a friend, Taylor, and I'll probably send this to him after because I'm name dropping him. You'd really like Taylor, actually. I haven't talked to him in a minute, but we were best friends for a while. And I remember this like crazy idea we had when we were like, had to be 18 or 19. And it was like, but I was always like, my art was coming up with ideas and like a crazy idea I had then, which we thought was so stupid. Now think like we were like, and I remember it was called Ground Sound. I don't think I've ever told you this. Called Ground Sound. And the concept was like, I was like, dude, what if you're in your room? And we both came up with this together. So I'm going to give him the credit too. but it was like, imagine if like you're laying in your bed or in your house and like the music, like you wake up in the morning and like the music's coming, like you buy the wood, but the wood had like something to bring music up or something. Like we're so far, we don't know what exists now then, right? And we're like, that's the stupidest fucking thing ever, right? But like now look around, like Alexa, like, and I'm not trying, I know. Like you see all these things. So it's like, always thinking about like other businesses to create like ideas. I've always been into like sales training. And like, I think when I really fell in love with business is, so I started getting the itch, and I guess this will now go into the path, and I might get some job paths mixed. Yeah, whatever. Because I've had a lot of jobs over like since I was 16, 17. But like,
how old are you now? Just to
30. I'll be 37 in like 2 months. Okay. It's what? April.
It's like 20 year journey we're talking ish.
Yeah. So,
working journey.
You know, I listen, I grew up locally in Michigan. And then after high school, I went to Central Michigan University. Like a lot of kids here locally, go to Central Michigan University, have too much
fun. Can't get in there. Let's go to Central.
You know, well, you go to Central. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the party.
You know, it was fun though. Had a great time. So first stint at Central, I think I lasted a year where, a year and a half, and then like I got like a 0.0. I just didn't go to this class, did not do good, failed out of school, came back, did OCC or Oakland. I did OCC, got my grades back up, went to Oakland University because before I could go back to Central at the time, and I'm thinking out loud, they were like, hey, you have to like get those zeros. Like they have to, the only way you go to zeros, by the way, is if you don't go to class. Yeah. And I was just having a lot of fun, not going to class. And this is before I met Ashley, by the way. But so 19 years old, come back home. Go to Oakland, OCC, do well, right? Of course I do well, right? I'm back at home, making some friends.
Were you working at this time too? Go to school?
I was working some jobs. Yeah, no, I was at so at this point, I was working at when I was at Oakland that first time. I think I was working at GNC. Okay, yeah. So this is where the sales itch is going to come in. Yeah. So during that time, I worked at GNC. I've had some funny ass jobs, dude. By the way, so was working at GNC selling vitamins, and like we used to sell this thing called the Gold Card. I'm not like super fit, trust me. But like,
I know.
Yeah. But, but it was cool, like getting that sales itch. But during the time I'm at Oakland, OCC, I end up leaving Oakland, OCC. From there, decided to go back to Central. So I was like, this sucks locally. Mm-hmm. Pretty much go back to Central. Met Ashley there actually, like around that time. But dude, same shit. I mean, like, yeah. I fail out of Central again, you know? So get kicked. Ashley graduates at this point, you know? I'm fucking 20, 21, just like not graduated. Yeah, you know, girlfriend at this point just graduated, having a career job, you know, boyfriend's at home. And then, or somewhere along the lines. So I start working, I take some time off, and I start working for AT&T. Which I loved it. Like this is AT&T in a really like in a town called like Bloomfield Hills it's no longer there, but it's like Square Lake and Telegraph area. It was really
like
cool.
High pressure sales at the time.
It was, but like what's interesting during this time is like we were really comped off selling like AT&T Uverse, TV, phone, home phone, internet. So like people would come in to upgrade their phone.
And you get to sell them on
and I'd be like, but like, here's the thing. If you remember 10 plus years ago, when you would go like, you have your phone now, right? Mm-hmm. They would like plug it in to a machine. Yep, and like behind here, and you'd have to like give them your phone and walk away, right? To me, that was
super invasive.
Super invasive, but how are you going to transfer your contacts and your photos? Yeah. There's no such thing as like Bluetooth.
No cloud.
There's none of that, right? So, but that was like a great point for me to like educate the customer, build value, offer solutions.
You'd be talking to them as things work.
Well, it's like, hey, Corey, so hey, what brings you in today? Oh, I need to upgrade my phone. Oh, great. Like, let's do that. Right. Well, I pull up their information. Like it'll show me they're in like the green zone at the time. And I can't believe this is coming back to me. This is wild. So the green zone at the time. And like, I immediately like, cause we would get good commission off of that. Like I was probably making like $10 an hour. I don't know, not much as a sales rep. We would make money off of some of the upgrade iPhones and stuff, but not much. But I see them and then I'd have their phone. So it's like, hey, what brings you in today, Corey? Hey, like, so walking you through the process. Hey, I see you're eligible for like, or actually, I wouldn't do that right away. I'd say, hey, so curious, who do you work for your home phone, TV, internet? And they're like, why are you asking me? I'm here to just upgrade my damn phone. Well, hey, I see that you're eligible. And I say that because like you have your phone with us. We're rolling this out. It's right over here. You want to just go check out the TV while I like Why I got your phone, dude? What are you gonna do? I got you.
Yeah, like I got you, bro.
So it's like, how do you like it? And it's like, hey, I pulled it up. Like, I saw you looking at sports. If you happen to like sports, and I'm way more polished now than I was then. So it probably wasn't this good, but it was around the lines of like, hey, I see you were looking at the sports. So I do things. If your kids like any of the people that I know, like, hey, we could get you, if you have 3 rooms in your house, 3 boxes, like it'll be $100 a month. Hey, how does it without your phone, or with your phone, it'll be like 130. Hey, how does that compare to what you're getting? And they're like, well, like that's actually saves us $100 a month. Well, hey, great. Why don't we do this? Why don't we get this locked in for install a month down the road? If you want to change your mind, change your mind. But it gives you a time to at least go back to your Comcast, see if they'll get you a better deal. I don't think they will. And I'm going to take care of you. Like, dude, and that's where I was like, okay. I eventually went from there to a home healthcare company, was working in home healthcare from there because it was a really good first salary opportunity, healthcare benefits. But then I was like, I want to go back to school.
Real quick, how did you get the opportunity at the healthcare company? Did you know somebody? Like, did you apply?
So, yeah. Well, dude, this is wild. I don't even know at this time.
You've done the same. So similar to me. You've kind of like maneuvered.
I don't even know if this is even like been said to them. I don't even think they knew this. Like, I never said I graduated college at this point. Okay. And I remember I was introduced to.
You said you went to Central.
I was at Central. Like, I went to Central. I never graduated at this point. So it was a first salary job. I think it was like $35,000, $36,000 job. But it was like cool, dude. It was in like Farmington Hills, home healthcare, growing. And I go there like for the interview. How was I introduced? I know here's how I was introduced. I think I reached out to the individual who I knew from Central Michigan, who was in some sort of organization. I didn't really know him, but I knew of him. And like, he knew somebody that was in my fraternity at Central. So I think I reached out and I was like, hey, are you guys networking and hiring? Right. So like the unofficial, like going back to when I was younger, like always trying to network, I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah, right.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, but I treated it as my business. Like when I got hired in and I was like a client service manager. So my role was really probably awful at it, which was like, and I was good at the relationship building component, but there was a lot of like administrative, which I'm not great at. But it was cool because you would have like clients ranging from, hey, children in Detroit who would be, trach tubes living, with single parents. And like, we'd have an opportunity to go in these homes and like provide nursing care. But part of this job was actually going in the homes, going into, there really was no territory. It was like anywhere the leads came in. So it was a really cool growing company. They grew it very successfully. The owners, I'm close with them still. And, but at that point I wasn't graduated college. From there, I wanted to go back up to school and, was like
for the third time.
Yeah, literally, dude. So this time, I say, actually, no, I gave the wrong number earlier. I failed out of college twice, officially twice. And then when I wanted to go back to Oakland the second time, I didn't do good at Oakland when I went back. Mm-hmm. So now I've been to Central twice. This is my second time going back to Oakland. And I'm just like, I just want to get this shit done. I think I was probably 23, 24. So this had to be 10, 12. I'm getting these dates wrong. Okay. I'm telling you right now, but you understand like the preface of it. So Ashley at this point is working a job. I go back to Oakland University. I end up having to take I wanted to get done in like a year. I wanted to get it done now at this point. I found out a way to do it was like, okay, in order to do that, and this is like ADHD brain, when you really want something now, like when you really want it, it happens, right? So I figured out that like Oakland, since my GPA was so bad at Oakland and I was willing to come back, I could only take I think the equivalent was like 20 credits or like not 18 credits. So all I could take was like 4 or 5 classes a semester. Like not possible to graduate from Oakland University in like a year at this point. Like a full year, including summer.
Yep.
Like without taking other classes. So like what I had to do is maximize where I could take at Oakland, but then like supplement at OCC.
Oh, wow.
So like, but what I would do is, I was taking like Spanish 1 class, like Spanish 1. I took Spanish 1 like 7 times in college because I would never go to class. Like it was absolutely ridiculous. But I take that, I would go there was sign language, which I had to do for my communications major. But I ended up like pretty much just killing all the way through it, getting done. And then from there, that's where like throughout this process, like during that time, like I've always been interested in like business sales. Like I just, would but I would never apply it because I was just bad state of mind, poor mindset, woe is me, blah, 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 blah. Which we all still fight, I think, still to the day. But so from there, I had a friend of mine that I was friends with throughout high school and college, maintaining a friendship with at the time, who was becoming like the general manager, president of a manufacturing company in Farmington, where they needed like a business development representative. And the Wolverine. And long story short, at that point, I came on as a business development manager. Was there for a few years. That individual ended up leaving after a couple of years, went on to do some really cool things. And from there, like had an opportunity to lead sales at that company for like a couple of years before I left and started my own company. And I think that was like around December 2018 was when I started my first company. And what's funny is Ashley, my wife, and I both quit our corporate jobs, I think within 3 weeks.
Sick.
So Ashley quit her job.
What was she doing?
Email marketing.
Okay.
Yeah. She would crush it for you guys. But she used to do email marketing for a company called B&P Media in Troy.
Yep.
Did it for a long time. And but she had a passion for like health and fitness coaching through Beachbody and helping women and just doing a lot of the personal development side. And she went in to start her business. I ended up starting my business, leaving. And like my first business then, I'm like, dude, I don't know shit. Okay. But I don't have a non-compete. I'm allowed to talk to anybody. I've been building great relationships with manufacturing or these packaging companies, these converting companies, these manufacturing companies. And I've been working with decision makers for years. One thing I don't know how to do at this point is
you're crushing it in that space, right? Like
we're doing
sales.
well.
Yeah, like you're doing good in Wolverine.
Yeah,
You're leading. At this point, it's been 2 years. You have a ton of contacts. You've learned a bunch of stuff.
I was there, I think, for 3 or 4
years,
something like that.
So you're established in that world of
like I was like, well, they didn't have anybody in the role. Like the owner bought that company, I think a year or so before I got there. Like my previous individual that was in the role, he did a good job developing his relationship. So like it was cool. Like I was able to, come in there. But I mean, it had its challenges being in a small business, but being like the only sales department had its benefits. Okay. So within that, I'm working with plant managers for big capital expenditure projects. Like these aren't like $50,000 projects, hey, you might work with somebody for a $500,000 project where, well, that $500,000 machinery project, while you're working with the maintenance manager to go through the specs, how that'll work. Eventually you're going to need to talk to like the VP of finance or somebody else in operations. So now I'm being talked to be like, well, this young guy, which I think there was a lot of like, what do you know about this industry? Like I didn't know much, but I learned quickly. But that grew to when I started my company, it was like I had some initial phone calls I made and where I was like, hey, I'm starting my company. First round was I started doing some like machinery sales for another firm, but then I also had a second division, which was staffing and recruiting. And during that time, this is like 2018, I didn't know anything about that space, but I knew how to build relationships. I had a vision and I always believed that I can do it. I think that's a big thing. I think like I do have some limiting beliefs a lot and I get depressed like a lot of men do. However, I believe I have moments of like bounce back that are higher than others. And I think you just got to push through shit.
Yep.
And so during this time, like I didn't know what I didn't know. My wife and I were so broke, dude. When I say we quit our jobs though, it's not like we were making money.
Too, yeah.
Like we were broke as fuck.
We started driving. We were that broke.
So broke. I mean, it was scary, but we didn't have kids. So it's different. Like I couldn't do that probably now. So I think there's like timing to it, but like, I will also say, I think luck, and I don't know where I heard this and maybe we put a note here to find out like who quoted this, but like luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Okay.
Yep.
So like, hey, in order to get
on the couch playing
like,
Call of Duty.
hey dude, like, yeah, the person that won the lottery got lucky, but they bought the ticket.
Yep.
Okay.
Same
like,
thing in poker, dude. You know
I mean, same
shit.
Sure. So it's like, hey,
play big games, win big prizes.
Yeah, there is an avenue to that. But I think the big thing was I started using your network, right? And I think people are, when they start their business, and if there's anybody watching this and they're like in the trades or they're just starting off, it's like, dude, you guys have a phone, literally. And I know it might feel awkward, but like go through your phone, pick like 20 contacts and be like, hey, Bobby, I haven't talked to you in a year, 2 years, 3 years. I saw you in my contacts.
Yep.
Hey, I just want to let you know, I just started my roofing company.
Nobody's going to promote your business.
Hey, I want to let you know, I just started my roofing company. I know it's been a minute and I know this might sound a little selfish, but I've always appreciated you. And hey, there's anything I could do for you, please let me know. But I just want to let you know if there's anybody you ever refer me to, I'm going to work my ass off. Right. So like, and again, that's how I would do it. Now I didn't do it as confident as then, but if I'm watching this, listening to this, do that. Like I'm telling you, it's applicable to any industry.
100%.
So, but I started doing that like then in that world. Right. So it's like calling these people, these maintenance managers. And I got my first opportunity for, and I'm not going to name the company, but this is like $1 billion manufacturing firm. They have a location in Pennsylvania. And I had like a relationship with this person like immediately when I started at Wolverine. He was like a maintenance manager, grew to a maintenance role at this big plant. They have multiple locations across the country. And they had other firms in there at the time. And I was like, dude, give me an opportunity. I kept asking. I was getting nowhere with this company. Nowhere. But I used to work with them on the machinery side.
Yep. You're bringing back memories for me, dude.
But,
a lot of, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Just hounding him, dude. Come on.
And it's like, so he finally gave us an opportunity. And this is when I started I had my first company at this time. It was me. And I think at this point, it was me and Travis at the point. And maybe Rich was working with me. He was my 2 team members then. We were a team of 3 at the point in a small little office in Rochester where I was figuring out how to pay people. It was so bad, dude. I went into default on some things. Like people realize that like when you really want to go all in, you will let credit cards go under.
Yep.
But like people don't really know what it takes to grow a business. They just see the success. And it's like, dude, fuck it. Like you really want to be successful. Like my risk tolerance is very high and it probably should decrease. But my point in a lot of things is like, you're not going to die. It might feel like it, but like there are order of operations that get to that point. Okay. Yeah. Like, dude, you're trying to grow your company and you have a $10,000 credit card bill, but you have like $2,000 in your bank account or no money in your bank account. But you have payroll, you have money coming in from a client, but you know, if you don't pay this, you're already late. And if you miss another payment, they're going to shut your credit card down. Like this stuff happened in 2019 for me. I didn't file bankruptcy or any of that. Never done that. But like I had to make decisions for the business where I was like, well, dude, like I understand like this sucks, but like I believe. Now I had to settle on all that when I ended up buying my house because that ended up coming back. Mm-hmm. But it is what it is, dude. Like, and I think it's a part of what a lot of entrepreneurs don't realize they have to go through.
Yep.
Like, it sucks. But like also there is something to this journey. So from there, so we finally get a role. They were like, hey, 2018, here's this role that we're having a tough time filling. Okay. I think at the time, Rich or Travis or whoever at the time. So this is 2018, we fill it. And like, dude, it was super cool. And then it's like, wow. Okay. And I remember the guy's name and everything that helped us get in there. I hope he's doing well. But that was really one of those first of like, okay, I never did this. And there's no like ChatGPT to like create agreements.
Yeah,
I have no mentor at this time in recruiting. That happened like a year and a half.
Probably not even watching. It's like YouTube, but like nobody's really.
I was
watching some YouTube videos.
I was binging Grant Cardone.
Okay, yeah.
Which is that. I love Cardone.
You're just focusing on getting
I used to love Cardone. I still love him. Yeah. There's a video of him roasting me, which we'll have to find at a later date.
You told me about this.
It's fucking wild. Like, there's a hilarious video of me just getting absolutely shredded by Cardone. But I had the balls to go on stage when all these fuckers didn't. Okay. Wow. So again, there's a point to being like, when there's thousands of people on stage and they're saying like, is anybody interested in role playing? You know, like their script with you. Like, yeah, I was fucking nervous. Yeah, I was speaking 1,000,000 miles an hour, but I was a rookie, dude. Straight up. There was probably a little ego there. Like, fuck it, I can get on stage. And I got ran, dude. But like,
I learned a lot too, though.
But like, he told like
that shit'll stick with you, like in a good way.
There's a lot I learned in that I know I talk fast. And one of the biggest things,
yeah, dude. But
one of the biggest things that I took from. So if you ever watch, we got to find this video. I can't even, dude, because if you read through
the pause,
bro, if you read the comments, you could do a whole episode of the comments.
Yeah,
this guy's a fucking clown. This guy, like,
dude, send me this, dude.
I don't know.
We'll edit it into this.
I refuse to.
We gotta edit it into this.
It's hilarious. I refuse to find it. I'm just kidding. It is foundable. It is funny. Like a couple months ago, I had one of those smart TVs, and I turned on our TV and like one of the YouTube, like, because I'm always looking at business stuff. So to like show like recommendations, and it'll be like, this guy shreds this guy in sales call. And this is from like, and it was like posted like 4 or 5 years ago, by the way. But dude, this video, like, this is the fucking thing. This video is not from 4 or 5 years. This is from like 8.
Yeah, I got
My homie DJ was with me in the crowd. Like, he was with me at the time. Like down in it would, but like, here's the thing. What I learned from that moment, and I'm grateful for it, because here's why. People were in the crowd were like, slow down, because I was nervous, right? Yeah. And here's what this taught me is that I still anchor to it. And when I'm in big moments or big conversations, when I lose track, if the thought comes to me, I'm like, I'm not always perfect on this. Okay. Not going to pretend, but there are thoughts where it comes in where this does come up in my mind. And I'm like, okay, hey, I'm going to slow down intentionally now. I do talk fast, but can go in cadences. That is something I learned, like Jordan Belfort.
No, the first advertising gig I had, I speak fast as well. And my boss used to just always say, slow the fuck down. Yeah. You know what I mean? And definitely that sticks with me too, dude. Sure. I can relate to a lot.
All right. So from there, we grow that.
So you get the account, you make the placement.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Like, I've never done this. I just
taught me like, let's do this more. We grow within that company now. That company gives us more opportunities to help them. Grows. Dude, this is like, now we're like, this is pre-AI, bro. This is pick up the phone. Of course, like an idiot, when we made our first like 40, 50,000, I'm like, let's go sign a 3-year agreement with Cardone's sales team. Like we go to all the events, which was cool, dude. Like I give that such credit and I loved it then. I still love it now. I think it has its times for, and I think if I didn't engage with that Cardone stuff, I actually don't think I'd be here. I'm being honest with you.
It was probably a huge investment for you at the time too.
It's tough for it to say that changed, saved my life, but I think it changed.
You probably just threw it on a credit card and said YOLO, right? Like at the time.
Yeah, literally.
That's what I'm saying.
No, like literally.
Like you're a psycho.
Oh,
like,
you have a $2,000 credit limit? Done, dude.
Yeah,
tickets to fucking VIP Miami. Let's go, dude.
No, but it's investing in yourself.
Yeah, sure. But there was ego plays there.
For sure.
But like Ashley would come with me.
But
then,
in hindsight.
So then from there, took on a mentor, reached out to him for a long time to become coaching mentorship. That evolved into a
Was he a mentor or was he just somebody you're reaching out to because you want a mentorship?
He was a mentor for sure. Not like it started off as like him doing something that this company was doing something that I wanted to do.
Cool. Okay.
And that I had a big interest and we were kind of doing and ended up, just reaching out over time, asking if they did coaching. He responded to me like, I think initially, and I can go back through years and years and years and years of notes and messages, but it was eventually like, here's what that would look like. Here's what this costs. And I pretty much in training was like, I don't got that money. Like straight up, I don't have that money. But here's what I did remember. I want their coaching because I see what they're doing. So the biggest thing for me is I've always been quick to invest money into learning without having all the information. Like my bullshit meter, like it used to be like, I used to get taken advantage of a lot. And now I'm getting like tighter and tighter. Like I can see through bullshit. I just see it. I see what's happening. Oh, you're bringing this, you're having this conversation because of this. Then I wasn't that, but I've always been like, I see what they're doing. I'm going to find one person. I'm going to join this mentorship group. I'm going to talk to everybody. I'm going to join this networking group. I'm going to build relationships. If it doesn't work out, I leave. Okay. But with this individual, they were local. I think they were doing something that I want to do. They're doing some really cool stuff. And so I reached out, asked if he did coaching, specifically to what I was trying to
call us. You're like, I'm broke.
And told me the investment, like, okay, well, I'm going to come back. Like, I'm probably paraphrasing here, but along the lines of I'm going to make that happen. So I remember we got a placement coming in and I reached out to this person, was like, hey, I'd like to move forward. So when this money came in, say we had like a $20,000 placement. I was so worried that we wouldn't have money for like payroll or anything like this, but I wanted to get this training running now. So at this point, the team grew. An individual that I was working with at Wolverine ended up joining the team as a leader, which helped with like grow the team then, was helping us really move the needle forward. And during this time, like I wanted to continue to bring on coaching and like learn from this individual and this company. So we took out coaching. And I think this is another point for the audience is like, always ask for help. People want to help people. Okay. And people that have been successful and don't take offense if they bill you or if they say, hey, this isn't like, don't expect it to be free. Yep. But hey, totally like agree. Curious, like, hey, do you do coaching? Do you mentor? Do you do anything? Like, I'd love to know what that could look like. Hey, I can't afford that right now. But is it cool if I say if I give you like one thing I'm struggling with, you give me your thoughts on, right? Guess what happens? If you start implementing shit that somebody teaches you, they're going to just start giving you advice. Because like most reasons people like is, so within this relationship, I invested into it and I just started applying everything we learned. And guess what? It was working. Right?
You share those things too, right? Like, team. Hey, I did that. Yeah.
Yeah, so, of course. No, you don't gatekeep. And so that evolved into like continuing that, but back up to that. Once we had a payment come in from another company and from the company. And I remember like, I think it was around 20 grand and I can't remember what this individual was charging at the time. but I was very concerned, like with all the payroll bills and stuff, that like if I say I like mail him a check, that by the time he like deposited it, I was concerned that it wouldn't be there.
Yeah, it's just gonna bounce.
Yeah, dude, and I can't have that. Yeah, I fucking look like an idiot. So I remember specifically going to the bank, getting a cashier's check, because when you do a cashier's check, they immediately pull it out. Immediately it's pulled out.
Yeah.
Done. So then I sent it. I gave it to him on his first, like came in coaching, and or like it was like virtual. I think initially sent it, but then that evolved into coming into the office and doing like a development session with like at the time I think he was our VP at my company. We had the title was, but he was like my right hand man in the organization, really helping grow it. There was just like split differences. Like while I was technically owned the company, he was doing a really good job like running it, managing, leading it. It was pretty cool. And so within that scope, from there, we, me and this individual at the time who was a mentor started talking about like what it could look like starting a new company focused on this niche within their, company, creating a new company. Fast forward, we ended up doing that. So we took the team at Arte, my former company, rolled it into, we started a company called Spark Packaging, which was super cool. Not saying anything I can't say there. And then from there, was able to become a partner in a couple other companies, all specifically focused on like whether it was executive search. Became a partner in a digital marketing company. That was fun to get that launched off the ground. And
which company was that?
Bolt.
Bolt.
Right. It was super cool to see them launch that. And then like got to, grow a company within packaging and see that grow, really get to serve a lot of people across the country, national. We're just doing some really cool things.
You guys are growing and growing and growing. Yeah. Right. And now you got this infrastructure.
Yeah. And it all started like, through asking some maintenance manager, right? It's crazy. But I think a couple things here to hit on is like ask for help. You never know where it's going to lead. But then, in 2023, this is kind of where like life shook me. So during this time, I love business, man. I love like growing the company.
This is how we met. I met you there. And it was funny. So me and Dan were talking about this earlier. Dan's like, yeah, when we met Billy, because he's like, you talk a lot too, Corey, and you're very high energy, and you do too. It's the only time like I've just sat in a room and just shut up, and you just went. Like I'm just gonna let this guy cook, dude, because you're very energetic and very passionate about what you do. You know
yeah, dude, I love helping people, man. I think I think about it like this, and I've thought about this more and more. What genuinely makes me happy is holding a door for somebody. Like my favorite book is The Go-Giver.
Yeah. You live that too. We've talked about that.
You what?
You live that, I'm saying.
Thank you. Yeah, I try. I not perfectly, but it is something that, listen, it's a weird concept, but if you're struggling with, just help people.
Well, that's what the whole principle of like all the 12-step programs are built on. It's like, hey, the only way that you recover is by helping somebody else. That's how you get out of your own way. Help other people.
Sure,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
So some of these business principles, I mean, they're life principles, right?
I mean, I know it might sound weird reaching out to somebody in your phone that you haven't talked to in 7 years and being like, hey, Corey, I haven't talked to you in 7 years. I'm going to call it out, or you give them a little voice memo. But hey, I was scrolling through my phone and your name came up. Hey, man, you were really nice in high school. I know it's been a minute. I just want to let you know I really appreciate that. Hey, I know this might sound salesy, but I just want to let you know that I just started a roofing company and we're really helping people out. Hey, if there ever comes a time where somebody comes to you asking for a roof or upgrade, or hey, who fixed roofs, or I have a drain, or gutters need fixed, like, hey, if you could send them my name, I appreciate it. Hey, would love to catch up for coffee sometime. Like, dude.
Well, I think what you said is interesting too, actually doing a voice memo and text, because nobody does that.
Yeah, voice memo. I'm a big voice memo.
You know what I'm saying? Because nobody does that. So that's actually tactical. They'll actually remember that message.
So I have a couple things like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm really.
They're not going to remember a text. They're just going to blow past it. But if you do a voice text, it's
dude,
like
I talk to everybody that I consult. And this is something that's not new. I've been doing this shit since you could send voice memo. I literally have been doing that since I think Cardone started talking about doing it on stage.
Yep.
Where literally we would be in these sessions in like 2018, 2019 in Miami at his boot camp events. And he'd be like, call a prospect right now. Like I saw Cardone make somebody fire. And he actually somebody that I think you would like. I'm not going to say his name, but he owns a law firm who specifically focuses. And I don't know why this never came on me. And I know him. I haven't talked to him in years, but we used to be like, we were all junkies going to the same events all the time, right? Hey, I haven't seen you since last month, man. Same boot camp, let's go, dude. But no, this cool was like Cardone had him, like we were talking about one of his employees. He was asking him about a problem, and Grant was like, well, you should fire him
now.
And right now. And by the way, here's the phone.
Here's the phone. Call him or leave.
He did.
Wow.
On the phone in front, and it was like ballsy, dude. So it's like, so I said, but here's the thing, right? You know, like, what, but you can do that, okay?
Yep.
And like, I'll go through some of this too. And
it's your business. You can do whatever you want.
So in 2023, you know, I was hit pretty hard. My trigger warning, my father committed suicide. You know, so it was tough. And it was something that just rocked our family, our world. And, you know, from there, I don't think I've really been the same person since necessarily. So that ended up, a lot happened during that time.
Maybe in some good and bad ways too, right? Like
I mean, you always find the positives and stuff like that.
I went through a similar thing, just different thing, but like a year after you, literally almost like a year to like exactly a year.
Yeah.
It rocks my best friend and it just rocks your world, dude.
It's tough. But like, there is something there, you know, sure, you can pull pockets of good from it. Hard to find it, but yeah, during that time, man, it just, it was just not a good phase of my life. Long story short, I ended up exiting from those companies officially in like March of 2024.
Mostly because of this, like
in March of 2024. And like, so from there, told myself I was going to take like some, you know, took some time off, but this like correlates to, you know, like during this time, you know, I wasn't doing good. You know, I think a lot of men, I got to be careful what I say here, but a lot of men let their environments like not like allow them to like open up on certain things. It's hard for men to share, kind of like what I just shared.
Yeah, you got to be tough.
I'm sure not everyone's going to be happy that I just talked about, like my dad did, right? I also will say that like men need to talk to more men, and that you're not defined by what you do. I think too many men in our culture, like they go to work and they get yelled at and they get, you know, and then they go home and it's like, babe, I got to work. I got to hit my numbers. And they're always fucking stressed out for like a number. And I'm saying that because I see that every day now. I see that every day now with people I talk to every single day. I see that with myself still to this day. But I think the biggest thing is too many men identify with like work as my identity when it's not. There should be faith. Right. In my opinion, I think faith is foremost. It's challenging, has its challenges, right? I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. Is that I think that is front and foremost, leading by faith, having your family. And I think showing your kids the right way to lead and like then work. And I know that might be easy to say, but it is true. You can't bring money with you. I see it. When you're gone, you're gone. And like it fucks a lot of people up if you take it out on yourself.
Yep.
So I say that from the standpoint, you know, after I exited, you know, I think there's like a limit. I think I'm not somebody that can just sit down, dude. Like I tried figuring shit out, you know, so it took some time off. Ended up starting a home care company. And, you know, that's something that I anchored back to, had a partner in that, did that for about a year and a half. And that led me to this M&A world, right? To where we took our clients from that home care company, way lightly transitioned into a great company here locally, who I have a friend who runs their director of business development. That was a really cool transition. My heart just wasn't in home care, dude. It just at all. And like,
it's also not you're a B2B guy,
bro. Let me tell you this, and I am not. See, I've seen too many men fucking do shit they hate, and just I have to stick with it. No, you don't. You don't. You don't think you, but like you can say I'm done.
Yep.
And I'm going to start something new.
I think people
here's the truth. Like we were growing the company. Like the company was making money. Like we talked, like we had some wild clients, like what was super cool. And I can't share names. I'm under like crazy NDA confidentiality, but like our caregiving team was able to some of our clients, like were professional sports owners, and like, wild. Maybe that's an episode for another day of how we got that client, because it goes to what we were talking about earlier.
We can do a whole
and like what I had to do, Like I had to play caregiver right away. Like motherfucker, I've never played caregiver.
Yeah, I remember you told me
some of the things that I had to do were like, but like, got to do what you got to do to get a deal done, right? So
$20 is $20. Dude.
$20. You got $1.
Hey.
So no, but truth is like, so within this though, right? I made some like phenomenal relationships. You know, we can't send pictures of this, but what was a really cool moment was one of our clients was a professional sports owner. President Trump wanted to meet our client, okay, at one of these events. So what's really cool was our caregiving team traveled with this client across the country. And at this time, like, while like our team member is not in the picture specifically with President Trump and our client or my former client, it was really cool to like be like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah,
that's badass.
Levels.
Right. And I've shared that with like a couple of people, but like obviously like I can't say who this is for obvious reasons. But dude, so many crazy stories within that, but like built that business. It's interesting. So many people mistake profitable versus making money, by the way. So like the business was profitable, but like I put so much money into it.
Yeah, you're not actually making money.
No, I think I put like 250.
Like an ego thing might be like, oh yeah, it's making money, dude, but like you're just getting
I think I had to put collectively like we talked on it, like close to 250 into it, including everything, and like got some of it back. Like, but I mean, not most.
Did you learn any like lessons from? Like, what did you learn from running this business?
From that business?
Besides, you hate healthcare. Like,
I don't hate healthcare. Hold on.
You don't
hate home healthcare.
Sorry, you don't hate home healthcare.
Yeah,
you're not passionate about home healthcare.
So, I advise home healthcare clients today. I did not want to operate this business, starting it from zero the way it was, and there was a lot of other things around it that I didn't want to keep putting money into a growing company. You know, we were growing it. In order to grow, you need headcount. In order to grow headcount, you need funding, and I didn't want to keep putting money into the business. I mean, but had a really good opportunity to transition that out.
So maybe a gut check on, because you said you have a super high risk tolerance. So like maybe the old Billy would have been like, whatever. Okay,
yeah, but here's
whatever
the thing.
It takes.
I agree. Going to where we talked about earlier is like pivot.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, it's been phenomenal. Like since that happened, have a great relationship. But dude, I get to advise home care healthers on one of the websites. One of my portfolios that I have is exitlabhomecare.com. I mean, it's a tool.
You've been taking into these tools too.
Yeah, I'm killing it in AI. I love it. So within that scope though, so like the home healthcare side, but within that time I developed like a professional relationship with Maya Stone, our founder here at Stone Capital. And we worked together a little bit on some things. I was very impressed with her background. You know, she had a lot of exits herself, roll-ups, acquisitions, and was kind of speaking the same language that I did about people first, taking care of people, but like I'm a capitalist. Okay. Like I'm not going to confuse the two. I think you can help a lot of people and make money. I think both do exist. They do 100%. Exist. Okay. You have to do it. Yeah, I mean, so I really liked what she was talking about. Now, again, this ties back to the beginning. How the fuck do you get into M&A in private equity world and working, now I'm working with private equity companies, helping them find HVAC industrial type companies in the Southeast SEC belt, to working with home healthcare companies here in Michigan, to working with home remodeling companies in Wisconsin, to working with you guys, to just talking to people every single day. I mean, that's just a scope. And now literally daily talking to companies in the HVAC space. It's
so many gear shifts. Dude.
It's so many, but it all revolves around business to business,
for sure.
Talking business. So when you think about it, it's the same stuff. Though.
It's cool. You have this like whole canvas.
But here's the thing. It's the same converse. It's this, everyone has got the same problem.
Same stuff.
Just bucketed and wrapped differently, dude. Yep. I love this. Like, I love it. I absolutely love it. But what did this teach me? That you can pivot. Okay. But going back to what I said around this, so the company was profitable, but like, there's this where like people don't understand balance sheets. I'm like, okay, well, like somebody has to put money into the business. Like, okay, that doesn't go on your like normal P. Like there's a difference between a P&L and a balance sheet. Okay, so you can put money into the business and you might not get everything back. Okay, that's just a conversation for another day. But yeah, I pivoted, dude. But during this time, Maya, we started talking, and I realized that I'm interested in what she's saying. So she's talking to me about her vision of mergers and acquisitions. She was at her investment bank, one of the investment banking companies, left. She started her own company, had some really good clients, still does. We're growing. The business is doing very well. It's so fun. And she's like, I want you to come on as my COO. Here's the vision. Now, most people in this role are from the M&A world. Reason is I've been an operator. I know how to speak M&A. I know how to speak to these operators. I know what it's like. I don't really like suits, dude. Like, I'm not saying like you have to dress super down or nice, but it's like, I don't get along with sooty people very well. It is what it is. Okay. Like, I only wear suits when I'm like, this is the most dressed up I'll ever be.
Yeah, I wear suits at weddings and
like,
funerals.
You know, I got an event after this that I got to go to. But other than this, dude, like this is how I want to be in that environment. Right. And, I appreciate Maya's, I don't want to say it's relaxed, but it's be who you are. And that blends itself to our clients, which is like, let's meet them where they're at.
Yep.
One of our taglines is trust over transaction. One of our unofficial taglines I told you earlier is we honestly give a shit, dude. We do care a lot. So this correlates into when she's talking to me about the vision, hey, I'm going to be out here on the east side. She's going to be on the west side. We're going to be growing this company. And it's totally evolved in the unofficially 6 months in time that we've worked together now, and officially, that we've worked together. And it's totally evolved. But where that gets to in this whole process is that taught me that, okay, you can pivot, but now I get to talk to my business owner clients. Like one of the individuals that's going to be coming on your podcast, hopefully at some point, is somebody that we're working with. Like I get to help him see the pitfalls. Okay. Also, it's not just putting in money. Like there are things and there are other vehicles now that I have exposure to that I can coach them on. I have a really good network now of individuals that I never worked with until Waylight that I've been introduced to, a whole new network of people that it's like, hey, well, that opportunity, I learned so much because during that year and a half, 18 months, 20 months of Waylight, dude, that took me more out into the community. I was going into the field. It forced me to go to networking events, join the chamber, which I never did. Just do it what I wanted to do.
Yep.
And things I've always wanted to try, fail, big deal. It is what it is. Okay, cool. Like, so I look at it as a major lesson. I would say there's a big component of maybe buying a company, not building a company, if you have the resources to do so.
So something that's already
like maybe not just
presence.
Start a company from zero. Like you can buy a $5 million company if you can. Let's use another thing. You can buy $1 million company if you can raise $100,000 and you got decent credit. You can probably get an SBA loan. Okay, you got to get some cash flow and you got to get some bridge funding in. I understand. For the comments,
but it is
it's possible. A lot more. Dude.
Like
absolutely.
You don't need $100 million.
Even do seller finance.
We're not talking about buying Netflix. Like,
but one of our clients that I work with right now, he worked out a really good opportunity seller financing for one of his clients, like for one of his purchases.
Yeah,
okay,
I think part of that's just education too. People don't know this stuff exists.
Well, but dude, like see, that's where you got to. That's where I come in. I like want to work with the blue collar operator, like the blue collar.
They don't know what they don't know.
No, but I do. So, and I don't know what I don't know all the way either, but I'm like really going deep on it. Something that I've really brought into Stone and I have a consulting company that is separate that is called Second Chair Advisory, which is, it's more along the line of like AI technology, proprietary lead flow, really focused on that. And so a big thing that BG actually gave me this word, Professor Gustafson, to be specific. I'm evolving into a technologist, right? So I believe I speak native AI. It's weird. Like I hit it off really easily. Like as now it's speeding up. And I think it's changing so much that anybody who says they know everything, they're a liar. But there are some really good people to follow. Like my favorite person to follow right now is Allie K. Miller, by the way. I'm just going to you might want to share this out there. Killer. She's got great trainings, great how you set up your agents. And I think she teaches at a very good elementary level. And that's where I started. AI is really best at helping you use AI. Ask AI, how do I use this? Take screenshots. Yep. I've evolved it pretty quickly. I think you've seen some of the tools.
Pull prompting and.
Yeah, really big into pull prompting. I think you should probably talk on that at a later date on your own. You do a good job at that. And but within this scope now, like what I'm building out here at, when I joined Stone is evolving, really building out this architecture, going out there. I'm building out autonomous AI agents through my advisory firm, just on my own, which is supporting my deal flow, our deal flow. helping provide proprietary deal flow to private equity firms.
Just creating your own ecosystem, right?
Like so, like, you know, right now I have personally 4 portfolio company sites up who are active, generating lead flow. I learned something this week that I actually have to change.
What's here, real quick though?
Sure.
You built those sites without.
Can I drink my coffee while we're
You can do whatever you want.
Okay, thank you. Been hiding in the corner.
You don't know. You're not a coder. You're not a designer. You suck at art. Well, I'm saying like I do. You're not a designer, but what AI's getting into these tools and leveraging them.
My daughter's the artist. Shout out, baby girl.
Shout out. You've been able to create all these things with almost no working knowledge prior.
Yeah, prior. See, that's the thing.
And you've learned a lot. Yeah. Like, it's not like you don't just go on and say, do this.
Dude, I start with one. I nerd out. And I think this is where
you have to, basically.
I think this is where my ADHD is a superpower. Because it skips. I think we're in this world right now, by the way, where creatives, if they don't adapt, and I love how you guys are doing.
Well, it's redefining creatives too. What does that mean?
I don't know. What does it? I don't know.
So if you're creative in business,
well, okay, I'm going to give you you know what I'm saying? My definition of is like if you're the trad agency, you're about to get smoked. Yeah, you're, because people like me are going to come in, have an idea. I'm impatient. I'm not going to want to wait. Now I can build. So you're telling me that I could use Whisper Flow. Okay. I can get it on my computer. I could hit Alt Windows button. Now I could just talk into Manus or Claude and I could just rip.
Yep.
At 130 words a minute.
It might not be perfect.
Well, then I'm going to take it and I'm going to clean it up.
You know what I mean? That's
and I'm going to talk it through everything I want to envision. And then it just starts it. It builds it. It's a lot more and it's not, when I say it's a lot more complex than that, it's really not. But here's where I would recommend. Just like with any sales call, bro, do 5 minutes of fucking research before you call. 99% more. Watch a 10-minute YouTube video on your client, prospect, or whoever. You're going to know a lot. Dude, you want to learn how to use Claude, how to use Manus, how to use Claude Cowork, how to use OpenClaw. Like, I wouldn't probably start with OpenClaw or Claude Cowork, but start with Claude. Like, Ashley's asking me last night, like, I hear Claude's good, And like, okay, babe, like, start,
We're planning a vacation and Amanda's like, she's like, I said, listen, all that, put it into Claude, right? I want you to talk to it.
Our wives think we're crazy.
I want you to talk to it. And she's like, okay, whatever, I'll do it. And then she's like, holy shit. And we have like 3 itineraries to pick from now. You know what I'm saying? Like for the trip. But it's like bad. It's like actually, but that's just like a very simple.
Where's the trip?
Italy. But it's super simple way to do it, right? Like pros, cons, like you just talk to it.
I wish I didn't ask you that.
Huh?
I wish I didn't ask you that.
You want to go?
No, because now Ashley's going to. Maybe. Maybe that's the only way I would go to Italy. I don't really want to go to Europe.
Italy's dope.
Yeah, I hear.
It's awesome.
But yeah, no, I think the thing with AI is like jumping into it. Like
100%,
dude. You
I did it when I was sick.
I send you videos.
Like I got the flu and just started happening.
I think I send you. So one of the things that I like doing
Billy's my AI shared library resource. He just sends me seriously.
I'm official AI consultant.
Yep.
No, but that's not. I'm not going to say I'm not an expert. I just learn and I'm a sponge and I apply it.
100%. Yep.
But I try. So here's the thing. I'm not trying to fucking code, dude. I'm not a coder. So if you're an app maker, make fucking apps. Okay. If you have to use AI. Some of the shit I'm doing right now is absolutely nuts. I'm not going to share it on here because it's too good. You can shoot me a DM though if you want to learn more. No, I'm just kidding. But legit, like I'm not going to walk through some of this stuff, but some of the stuff that I'm scraping, pulling, it's all publicly available data, yep. But it would be ridiculous to get set up. So here's the thing, Rick, like I want you guys to envision, if you start at the top where everybody, but if the more you go down here, or the more you go up, it's going to be less people at the top that are using it for what you're doing. So say you're using it for research, say you're using it for data scraping, say you're using it, be consistent with it, but pick like one task and get really good at it. And that's what we're doing. That's all I'm doing. It's more than that, but we're building these out across multiple verticals. And I'm trying to create proprietary lead flow. So that's like the point of like the advisory consulting company that runs autopilot pretty much, a little oversight, but it's really meant to help private equity firms generate proprietary deal flow. Like nobody wants to be competing with 4 or 5 companies that want to exit. So we've been able to, and we're dialing it in. We're dialing it in. Blah, blah, blah. You get what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
We're dialing it in. And within time, though, we're split testing it. and I don't want to share all the sites yet because like we're testing it.
Yeah, for sure.
But I got a really cool main domain and we're building it out. And I think it'll be a really cool platform to support Stone. It's really cool because like a lot of the lead flow right now is clearly coming to us. So it's kind of like a Trojan horse, which is really nice, what we've built. But the AI tools, man, you got to learn it. You got to adapt it. Going back to the story, we took a side quest. The BG, Professor Gustafson, is that you got to be a technologist. You got to be able to speak it, evolve it. So say you go away on a vacation for a month. Okay. If you go away for a vacation for a month, you come back, there's going to be new shit in Claude. There's going to be new shit in Manus. Claude code is going to be updated. Okay. It might be easier. I saw something this morning that like Verser, Claude Cursor, whatever the cursor, you might not need to use it anymore. Okay. I don't know why. I'm going to look into it, but that shit happens every day.
Yep.
Okay. So it's maybe not, but like you have to be able to like speak it, see through it, and just communicate with it. So if you're not an app maker, stop trying to make apps. If you're here to make money, use it to make money. Don't be like, how do I make money? But literally like ask it like,
use it. Yeah.
Hey, here's my thoughts. How would I go about doing this? Here's my skill set.
Here's what I'm trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Right. Promise. Like have like the end in mind. So it's like, hey, I'm trying to get to this metric or this number, serve these people, and then reverse engineer it and just talk to it.
No.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And like stop trying to like force it to
like literally, I want you
like to actually use it as like your thought leader.
So
right? Like
I'm gonna use, so like I have there's a company here locally. I have a friend of mine, A&J Elite Cleaning Surfaces. They're starting like a surface cleaning company, but they do more than that. And if I switched a couple words up, guys, I apologize. But the point is that they're a local company. Okay. They do really cool things from doing garages. So like the epoxy in the garages, but they can do warehouse commercial. They could do power washing, sandblasting. Okay. So let's say you're them or that type of company. How would you go about finding clients if you were at zero? Okay. How could you use AI in that? You know how I would use AI in that? I would go to Claude, 4.6 Opus. That's all you need to use Opus and make it easy. Never use anything else. Just use Opus. Okay. And then you're going to ask it, you're going to put in the voice because you talk way faster than you type and you can think better unless you're a super creative. Most likely not. If you're a trades professional, fucking download Whisper or just do everything voice memo because it's so much easier. Just the demo is what it is. And you're going to go into there and say, hi, here's my company. Here's my exact website. I have no clients. We have X amount of money to spend. We need to be at 10,000 in revenue by end of next week. Nothing is going to hold us back. We have 2 of us. Each of us can put in 50 hours minimum this week. And you specifically put it in there 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And if it's not 8 a.m., put it at 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Cannot work Saturday or Sunday. I need you to give me a step-by-step blueprint plan of what I need to be successful and how to generate that revenue off of everything. And additionally, if there's anything you don't know or need more information on to get to this plan, please ask me. Claude is phenomenal.
This is where people are not under. This is the power of the tools. Using it as actually using it as a resource. So I think some people just use it as Google or like, hey, what's the best way to do this or whatever. And it's like, no, like the way you defined it.
And there's way more, by the way, like there's way more advanced ways to 100%. Use AI through workflows, but this is how I would use it as like a general way. Yes. If I'm like, how do I use it if I'm not using it? And how do I have no clients and I don't have money to go get it? Well, at minimum, you need to have $20 to get Claude or whatever, right? You need $20, talk to Corey. Joking kind of, but seriously though, like that's what you would do. And then let it ask you questions. And I'm telling you, run the play. Like you would be surprised. There is context to being like, hashtag, you are my consultant. But dude, you don't need to do that yet. Like it's at the point now that it gets that and understands it. But that's literally what I would do. Tell it and then ask it at the questions with everything you just read, with everything you just heard. What other questions do you have in order for us to make sure by end of next Friday at 6 p.m. that we've invoiced or collected $10,000?
I always like to say too, just really getting the weeds, ask me questions one at a time.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And then it feeds you the questions and helps, for me at least it works. Yeah, so I can stay on track with.
But you see, like whatever, find yours, but you understand the point of that, right?
100%, yep.
Within that, it's literally going to give you a roadmap. So, I mean, a real life example.
You got to execute.
I mean, right? One real life example. I don't know how much time we got.
We got like 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
So one more example that I'm literally doing right now. I have a partner. We have a partner company at Stone who is a super great private equity firm. It's like the anti-PE. We call it Y'all Street with a Y. Headquartered out of Texas. And man, they're doing some really cool things. So they're operator-led, operator firm, where they're specifically looking at rolling up what we call mission critical companies. So typically want them to be between that $500,000 to $5 million EBITDA mark. So look at that 1 to 20 million in revenue ish. Anything from like power generation to low voltage cable to water testing, maintenance to HVAC, plumbing. But what we're really looking for is reoccurring contracts. Okay. But so does everybody. And all these firms are reaching out to these people, right? So how would we go about going to that like blue ocean versus red ocean strategy there, right? I'm going to ask it, how would Manus do that? I'm not smarter than a robot. Now I have all my skills. I have my brain pretty much modeled in there, how I think, how I talk.
Trained it.
But I have my ideas, by the way. Okay. And it is nice sometimes like not to put your ideas in there because it will validate it.
Yep.
It is what it is. Sometimes don't be like, because here's what I'm thinking. No, fuck that. Don't do it. Because it'll be like, you're thinking right. Or I was thinking about you.
Disagree with you.
One of the tools I was thinking of was Apollo. Can you list me 5 tools that I should be using? Apollo's going to be number 1.
Yeah.
You know, like, so like, and then because if they hit what you're thinking, it's like interesting because I was thinking the same thing. Let's go on down that path and down that more. Right. So that's like a real way I'm using it right now is just to take that information and I'm going to say, hey, how am I going to get in contact with this specific NACE code company that's a water treatment plant? How would I find out who has reoccurring contracts? And I don't want to get too down the rabbit hole but I'm also not too worried because like, I don't think my competition is even going to figure this out. I think a couple might.
Yeah.
And like, there's enough to eat. And I've only been doing this for not longer than all these other people, but I'm telling you right now, it's like, there's ways to get information. These Zoom infos they're needed, but
they're
all this
expensive.
There's so much. There's so many other ways, dude.
Yeah.
To building agents, to scrape data, to throw it over to Clay, if you even need to do that, to enrich data, to get it back into a sheet. Let's just say you're I don't know, fleet services company in Iowa. Okay.
Sexy.
It is actually. Like if you have big fleets of 50 trucks and I have 40 service contracts and you have 10 truck minimum or 10 car minimum lot, it's a great MRR. It's beautiful. Okay. Well, think about this now. Okay. How would if I wanted to focus on government contracts, because I don't think many people are focusing on that. Like that's an edge. That's like, so the slivers of niches that we talk about, right? Owning a sliver,
a niche and a niche, basically.
A niche and a niche is a sliver. Yeah. Okay. So you own that sliver. Okay. You go after those, like the fleet service professionals in Iowa that have government contracts. But then I want to know what specific government contracts, because I want to be able to mention those. See, most people, PE people or proprietary lead generation individuals, they're going to do all the same. They're going to do it up to here. They're going to get to where I'm at 50%. And then they're going to say, that's good. Now we have our list enriched. We have their email. We have their phone number. Sure. Like, I know your dog's name. Literally, not literally, but like the point is like, hey, we can now pinpoint like the specific contracts, the specific certain things that separate us in our reach outs that allow us to have specific custom reach outs with information that we are knowledgeable that like, hey, Corey, I see that you're the owner of Drive Fleet Services in Dubuque, Iowa. Hey, very curious. I see you've been a government contractor since 1997. Cumulatively like $55 million in government contracts. That's fascinating. Hey, I partner with a PE firm that's actively rolling up companies like you. But like the anti-PE, where, we're taking care of your team, people, process. Curious I'm sure you get hit up all the time. Curious if you'd like to learn more. And also I'd love to hear more about how your contract, and you get the point here, your government contract business, right? Now I'm coming in so specific because I'm saying like, hey, because like I'm coming in and say, hey, we focus on government companies that are on the SAM.gov. That's a big differentiator at scale.
Yep.
No different than if you're trying to go to wide at auto law companies. Like, hey, we help so many companies. We help bring 5 cases per month. Or it's like, hey, we're so good. We can know us here at Drive. We're so good. We can't even do certain law in Michigan anymore. Hey, but you in Ohio, or sorry, you in Cincinnati, or you in California, are you interested to hear why that is? Like, we'll guarantee you 5 cases in the first 90 days. You know, I'd be like, I kind of am interested. That's a little different.
Yeah, it's
in the reach out.
Much more specific.
Okay.
Yes, I agree.
Right. But I'm only talking to you because you're down on the short list. But dude, we can wrap on this forever.
Yeah.
But long story short, man, I mean, very passionate about helping people.
Is there any, I guess, kind of last question in time, and I would like to keep talking. We should do this. We need to do this again, dude. Honestly, I just haven't.
We'll do it on the golf course.
Yeah, we will do it tomorrow. If there's one piece of advice now that you could give yourself when you started.
When I started what?
Your first company, or down this path of entrepreneurship.
What advice would
is there any piece of advice that you would give?
Yeah,
Billy?
It'll be okay.
It'll be okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that that's the first thing that, because it's been hard. I'm not going to get too emotional on it. I think we all but I think that's the truth.
You're not going to die.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you're going to go
you're going to die, but you're going to
go through shit.
Yeah.
Everything that people say, you're going to go through in business, you're going to go through, but you're going to be okay. And I would also say, I guess second thing would be, what would you tell yourself would be, it's going to be okay. Second thing is that just believe in yourself more, dude. You are smart enough to do it yourself.
Yep.
You're smart enough to learn from others. So you don't need other people to help you achieve your goals. And honestly, and also but also at the same point, that doesn't mean, I would tell myself you can grow your company independently. Okay. But I would say embrace mentors, embrace people. Seasons are for a reason. Sometimes people are just there for a season.
Cool, man.
That's what it is. This was fun, dude.
Great talk, bro.
Love you, brother. This was good.
You too, dude.